Well, it's good to see Aleister Black back in WWE. It's great to see him back. I'm honestly surprised that he's back because I figured he was probably going to be gone from the company after the whole Zelina Vega situation. But we'll talk more about Aleister Black when we get to it. So we're gonna be kicking things off here. As you guys know, this is a Smackdown review. And we're going to be diving into Cesaro continuing his quest on getting a Universal Championship match against Roman Reigns, where Roman Reigns continuously backs out of the challenge. And this all leads to Seth Rollins coming to the ring, and Jey Uso coming to the ring. Daniel Bryan would also come to the ring. And it would end up leading into a big tag team matchup. And this was actually a really good tag team matchup. I like all four of these guys in the ring. All four of them are really good in the ring. I liked it. I thought it was a good match. And in the end, Cesaro and Daniel Bryan would win, with Bryan pinning Jey Uso. The main event, Jey Uso, went from being the main event, Jey Uso, to the opening match, Jey Uso. We had Tamina Snuka take on Nia Jax, and we also see the return of Reginald. And please get this guy. Please, can we not deal with Reginald anymore? It was so much better without him, but Jesus Christ, I'm so over Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler as tag team champions. Like, it's stupid. They're trying to make me believe that there's issues between the two of them. Every single time they have issues, they always end up retaining. They always end up retaining their tag team titles. They will bicker and argue for weeks. But then when they defend their titles, then all of a sudden they're on good terms, and then they successfully retain, and they're on good terms again, and then they start losing again, and they start bickering and arguing. I'm tired of it. Take those titles off of Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. I would rather the titles go to Mandy and Dana. I would not want those titles on Tamina and Natalya. Look, I like Natalya and everything, but truth be told, I really don't want Natty and Tamina with the titles. I would rather it be on Mandy and Dana, because they deserve it more than those two. Tamina and Natalya are now baby faces. I guess they're now faces, because they were heels, and now I'm supposed to believe they're faces. Don't get me wrong, I kind of prefer Natalya as a babyface. I'm going to be honest with that. Not really a fan of her as a heel, but she changes more times than the Big Show. Natalya is like the female Big Show. She will turn face and heel at the drop of a dime. So Tamina would pin Nia Jax here. She would pin Nia Jax. Nia Jax taking a rare loss here. Seriously, Nia Jax and Tamina, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, they may have beaten Natalya and Tamina at WrestleMania, but seriously, they can't seem to beat them. They can't seem to beat them on SmackDown. Natalya beat Shayna Baszler in 30 seconds last week, and this week it took a little longer with Nia Jax, but I'm over this. I'm over this crap. Take the titles off these bums. Nia Bum, Shayna Bumsler, and Reggie Bum. There's your bum squad, ladies and gentlemen. There's your bum squad. Just take the titles off them, please. I'm so over this. I'm so over it. Apollo defended the Intercontinental Championship against Kevin Owens. This would lead to Sami Zayn coming out to the ring, and you kind of saw where this was leading to when Sami Zayn was coming out to the ring. But I was kind of surprised Sami didn't interfere. I was expecting him to interfere. But in the end, Kevin Owens would lose thanks to Yabba Dabba Doo guy, Commander Aziz. And then, and Kevin Owens would taste the Nigerian neve. And Sami Zayn would do a really hilarious dance over Kevin Owens after the match. And I found that dance pretty hilarious. Big E would go ahead and attack Apollo backstage. And now we get to Aleister Black. Aleister Black read a book, The Tale of the Dark Father. He explained how he went to funerals as a kid, and his father told him to not slay the dragon. He told him to become the dragon. And I'm actually very happy to see Aleister Black back in WWE. Now, I don't know what this is leading towards. I think it's cool that Aleister Black is now back in WWE. I kind of had my thoughts that he was done with the company, and I thought he wasn't going to come back no matter what. But I guess he has agreed to work again. I guess they promised him something. I thought he was done after the whole Zelina Vega incident. I thought that was the reason why he was removed from television. But then people told me Vince McMahon wasn't really a fan of Aleister Black, even though Paul Heyman liked him. I mean, does it really matter who likes who here? Does it really matter who likes who? It doesn't matter. They're not getting TV time. Frickin' Buddy Murphy isn't getting television time. Paul Heyman is on Smackdown. If you're going to credit Paul Heyman for stuff, why isn't Paul Heyman trying to get Murphy television time? Yeah. You moved Mia Yim and Shane Thorne to SmackDown, but yet you don't use them. But yet we have time for Nia freaking Jax! We have time for Nia Jax and her stupid shit with Shayna Baszler and Reginald, but you can't fill in time for Mia Yim? You can't promote Mia Yim? You can't promote Shane Thorne? Yet you give this stupid shit with Nia Jax. But either way, it's great to see Aleister Black back on WWE. It's great to see him back. So, we'll see where this leads. And also, speaking of things that I'm sick and tired of seeing, that is the Mysterio family. I'm sick and tired of seeing these two. I stopped caring about them ever since Aaliyah Mysterio left. I stopped caring about them since her departure, and her storyline with Murphy got scrapped. I stopped caring about them since then. But the Mysterio family now, for some reason, they're trying to make it sound like they are big contenders for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Please, no. I would rather them not. I would rather you not do that. That is lame. And yes, it is good to have Rey and Dominic as a team, but give me a freaking break. You got so many other tag teams you can use, but you got so many other great tag teams you could have face Rude and Ziggler, but no, we got to continuously do it the same shit. Bayley was also interviewed. She talked about Bianca Belair. Montez Ford is now starting to get more involved with Bianca Belair. And I'm just going to say this. I don't want WWE to involve Montez Ford into Bianca Belair's feuds. And I want to, and it's a very simplest reason. Look back at Seth Rollins. Look what happened when Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, started dating, and how big of a deal WWE were making it. And they made them an on-screen couple. and you had WWE jam it down our throats for months and months and months that Becky is the boyfriend of Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins is this with Becky Lynch, and when they got married, WWE jammed that down our throats. Like, when it comes to Seth and Becky's relationship, they always jam it down the fans' throats. It's just so darn irritating. I get it. Bianca and Montez are married. I don't need to see Montez Ford involved in Bianca's storylines. I don't need to see it. I don't need to see him involved. What are they going to do? They're going to have Bianca Belair and the Street Profits versus the Dirty Dogs and Bayley in a 6-person tag? Is that what we're going to see in the near future? Knowing WWE, yeah, that's probably what they will probably do. But I'm saying, I just don't want to see Montez Ford involved in Bianca's storylines. Let Montez Ford do his thing, and let Bianca do her thing. It blew in your face. It blew up in your face with Seth and Becky. Don't make the same mistake twice. So yeah, the Mysterios would defeat Chad and Otis. Yeah, whoop-de-doo. Who cares, right? Who cares? And then Roman Reigns laid down a high-stakes challenge to Daniel Bryan. And if Roman Reigns defeats Daniel Bryan has to leave SmackDown. He will be banished from SmackDown. So I'm assuming this is their way of getting him off of SmackDown, moving him over to Monday Night Raw, or maybe he's retiring. There's been talk, I've been hearing stories that Bryan could be thinking about retiring. So maybe this is their way on retiring him, maybe. But when I heard them say he'll be banished from SmackDown, just made me think, oh, well, he's just going to be moved over to Monday Night Raw then. He's gonna lose the match, he'll go over to Raw, and then he'll start a whole new life on the Red brand. Man, putting Daniel Bryan on Raw would be so weird. It'd be so darn weird because I've been so used to him on SmackDown for so long. Yes, Raw does need a new big... Yeah, they do need some bigger names because you got AJ Styles who's in a tag team. You know, not really doing much of anything. So I can see why you need more top baby faces. Well, maybe if you stop focusing your attention on, you know, people like The Fiend, and maybe if you stop putting all your attention on Drew, and I love Drew, but maybe if you stop putting all your eggs in the one person, Drew, Lashley, maybe if you stop making the show all about them and give other people a turn, maybe that issue wouldn't be a problem. But anyway, Roman laid down a challenge to Bryan, and if Bryan loses, he has to leave SmackDown. And I think this will be the last time we see of Bryan on SmackDown. I mean, how funny would it be if this, how funny would it be if this is how Reigns' title run ends? He loses to Daniel Bryan next week. I know that won't happen, but I think that'd be kind of hilarious if that's how Roman's big historic title run ends. Or, here's another theory. As much as I don't like this idea, I could see WWE taking this route. What if Edge returns? What if Edge returns and he causes Daniel Bryan to win by disqualification? Because remember, they said Daniel Bryan has to win. It's a must-win for him. So what if Edge comes out, causes a disqualification, and Daniel Bryan wins by DQ? What happens if Bryan wins by DQ? Bryan remains on SmackDown. It could be Edge that does it. Could be Cesaro that does it. Could literally be anybody. Maybe that's the situation they're going to do here. Maybe someone causes the disqualification and Bryan wins by disqualification. And also, Daniel Bryan is actually correct with what he said at the start of the show. He said that Jey Uso has been the sole reason to why Roman Reigns has been successfully been able to retain his title in every single circumstance. Against Kevin Owens, against Bryan, against Edge, against anybody who he's faced. Jey Uso has always been the factor in all of his title defenses. And yes, I get it, that's Roman's character. He's a heel. That's what he's supposed to do. It's a heelish thing to do, and I understand that. But, you know, it's a good, valid point. That's how you expose a heel. That's how you expose them. But at the end of the day, guys, as much as I want to think that there could be creative ways to keep Bryan on SmackDown, like the DQ or something like that, I think he's losing. I think he will lose. He'll go over to Monday Night Raw. He'll start fresh on a new brand. And we'll see where this goes. So that is all I've got for you guys here on this SmackDown review. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you guys did enjoy, hit that thumbs up. Give me your thoughts and opinions down below. And at the end of the day, guys, I still prefer SmackDown over Raw. SmackDown is still more enjoyable than Raw. Just less Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, please. Just less of Nia and Shayna. Thank you. Get those titles off them, please. That's all I ask for. Which, that won't happen. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you all next time.